guys, welcome back. My name is Jessie and this is Crochet in Christ by Jess. First off, I want to say thank you so much for being here and spending your time with me. I'm just so excited to be able to share all of my makes with you and kind of go on that journey with you guys. So thank you so much for being here. So in today's video, we are doing a lot of things. So I didn't have a video last week, so it's been 2 weeks since my last video. Today's a filming day. This is April the 25th. I just needed some rest, essentially. I didn't get a whole lot crocheted that week, and I did film to put out a video, but I just needed to take a break. I just needed some downtime. So I decided to put all of that into this week's video because it's kind of a big week. I do have 2 markets this weekend. I have a market on the 26th and the 27th. And so I'm kind of just market prepping, getting everything ready for that today. And I'm just going to go through my 2 weeks of makes with you guys. And then we're going to do a little bit of a vlog too. I'm just going to take you guys along with the ride to see how both of my markets go. So I'm just going to get into it because I don't want to make this video too long, longer than it's already going to be. So as I was putting my mystery bags, or my blind bags as my daughter calls them, as I was putting them together, I realized that I hadn't filmed my weekly makes video yet. So I'm going to cut to that really quick to show you those parts of my weekly makes, and then we'll be back in just a second. Just because I'm in the middle of making my blind bags, and I realized that I haven't shown you some of my weekly makes. So I'm going to go through some of those really quick. So just to kind of show you my blind bag, I had a different idea for this, but whenever I went to the store, for some reason, they didn't have what I was looking for, so I had to improvise. So I just have these little iridescent little party bags and then some tissue paper, and I'm sticking that in there. And as soon as I show you some of my weekly makes, not all of them, I think it's going to be most of them, then I will show you kind of a time-lapse version of me getting all of my blind bags together. I actually have, I think, like 20-something of them. But anyways, while I'm here, let me just go ahead and show you what I'm doing, and you'll see in the time-lapse that I'm putting the things in the blind bag. Before, I hadn't really tracked anything. It was really just me trying to get rid of items that hadn't sold before, so I just put them in the box. It was actually a blind box, and I didn't really think about it. But this time I want to kind of keep up with it because I want to know what I have left and what I don't. And so what I'm doing is I'm tracking everything with the number, and I have a picture of everything set out here, and I'm putting them up in order. And so the number is going to tell me which type of plushie is in each of these bags. And so I'm going to have you guys go with me to put those together. But first I want to show you some of the weekly makes that I've made so far. So I got a pattern pack from Hook and Healers. She just released it not too long ago, and it's her Deep Sea I almost said party pack. I just finished grocery shopping and, party packs. But it's the Deep Sea pattern pack, and I specifically got it for this one right here because my daughter told me she wanted me to make her one. And so this is the blob fish, and let me just tell you how I'm just obsessed with this pattern pack because these are very quick pattern market makes, and they were just so much fun to make. So each of these took me anywhere between about 30 minutes to 45 minutes a piece, and so I've got different colors of this one. This is all Bernat blanket with the 6.5 millimeter hook. And I think these are 14 millimeter eyes. And then I forgot to put eyes on this one right here. And I embroidered those eyes. And so these are all either perfect phasing or dappled. I don't remember what order these are in. I'll have to put these back in order once I look at the pictures, because I picked those up, I think, in the wrong order. We're going to pick all these up at the same time. I made 4 of those. Then I made 4 seahorses. This is actually a free pattern on Instagram. I'm going to post it below in my notes. But I just felt like that the seahorses, even though they're not deep sea creatures, I hadn't made any yet, And these turned out so absolutely adorable. 12 millimeter eye, 6.5 millimeter hook, and then also, sorry, I realized I was really, really close to the camera, and Bernat blanket yarn. And they just turned out so adorable. Now the rest of these are that pattern pack. And so this is the puffer fish. And just look at those, so cute. And this is 10 millimeter eyes. And then, sorry, I'm going to pick these all up in order just because I'm afraid that I'm going to mess up some more. And so I made all of these. I made 4 of each pretty much. And originally I wasn't going to put all of these in blind bags, but they just seem like the perfect size to go in blind bags. And if they don't sell, I've got 2 markets this weekend. So I will just see. We'll see. We'll see how they sell. And if not, then I'll take them out and I'll sell them on their own. And then the anglerfish is just absolutely adorable. Bernat blanket, this yarn on the end is glow-in-the-dark yarn. And so I want to make sure that I put that in the description of the blind boxes. And then I made 4 of that one as well. Sorry, my finger was... And just these colors were perfect. I originally got these for my Easter colors, but they're perfect for all of these. And here in a minute, you guys will see them all laid out here on the floor, on the table, as we start getting all of these put together. So anyways, I just wanted to hop on here really quick before I start putting these in a bag and show you some of my weekly makes. All right, so those were a little bit of a struggle to do, those mystery bags. After we go through some of or the rest of my weekly makes, then I'm going to show you guys a little bit of time lapse of that. I haven't done that before as far as I guess like prep vlogging and all of that stuff. So I don't know, maybe I would take you along that journey. We'll see if that's some of the stuff that you guys like. So that was stuff that I made this week, but we're going to just change gears real quick to go to last week, what I crocheted the week of the 18th, the 20th? No. Yeah, the 20th. And so I didn't get a whole lot done. Again, it's been some rest weeks for me. And you know, that's okay. Everybody deserves some rest weeks. So I pretty much just made two things, but multiples of those things. So Avery crafts a lot. This is her squirrel. I made 3 of these. How adorable are they? Like, I'm kind of obsessed with this color right here. So this is Bernat blanket yarn and a 6.5 millimeter hook. And again, don't pay attention to my nails. I still haven't done my nails yet. And some fur yarn. These are great market prep. I saw these on Robin's from Notting Hook Crochet and fell in love with them. And that's why I wanted to make some more. And again, that's Avery Crafts a Lot. It's an Etsy pattern. And same thing, Bernat blanket. And I forget, I think these are 14 millimeter eyes. I realized I hadn't been telling you guys the size eyes that I use or if they're embroidered. So I've actually started making notes of that, even though I kind of messed it up by doing my mystery bag thing, but that's okay. We'll get there. This is all a learning process. So I made 3 of those. And then I made, oh, there's one of my hairs. 3 of the little platypus. These are so cute. So this one that I made previously, this is also Avery Crafts a Lot. I tacked the tail up, but it reminded me too much of the squirrel, so I decided to keep the rest of these down, and I think they're really cute. I do want to do a Perry the Platypus, but I've got to get the colors for it. I don't have any of the colors in the Bernat blanket. This is really cute. So that is literally all I made in 1 week. So needless to say, I needed a rest. And so this week, I did make the blobfish. Just to let you know, that blobfish is absolutely adorable. My daughter had mentioned she wanted me to make her one, and as soon as Hooks and Healers, as she released that pattern, I went out and bought it just because I hadn't seen one yet, and I had to get it just so I could make one for her. And then the seahorse, I didn't give you guys the maker of that one. That's Stitchin'. Stitching It Stitching It with Abby. Again, all of this is going to be linked below. And then I've made a couple other things this week along with all of those. That little pack. So I know in one of my previous videos I had mentioned like one of my favorite axolotl patterns is the realistic axolotl pattern from Nerdy Crochet 7. But I really I haven't sold as many of those as I would like, I guess. Let's see, I've got my breakdown right here. So let's see. But anyways, so I was watching I think it was Miss Sue's. It was Miss Sue's video, Miss Crafty Sue 519, and she showed this axolotl from Beth from Garden. What is it? Oh my goodness, y'all bear with me. I am on the struggle bus evidently this today. Scarlet Garden Crochet. She actually is the Jolie bee. She was the one that I pattern tested for her earlier this year. But anyway, so Miss Sue showed the axolotl, and I literally said, "Oh my goodness!" I absolutely fell in love with it, and I decided that I wanted to start selling these axolotls to see if they would start selling. I think they're adorable. I like the more realistic type things, but I think these are just absolutely cute. I've only sold this year 8 of the realistic axolotls. I think that's still very good, but they're not flying off of the shelf per se as I was hoping that they would. And so we're going to just change gears a little bit and try a different pattern and see how it sells. I think these are going to sell really good. Miss Beth, I'm just going to tell you this is an amazing market prep item. I made 3 last night in an hour, I think. So, and I am going to make more. I have time to make some more stuff tonight, so I might pop up on here later to show you some more of the things that I've made. So I made, where's my other one? Here he is. So sorry, I can't hold them all. These are the axolotls that I made. This one reminds me of Flounder from The Little Mermaid. And then burnout blanket, 6.5mm hook. And then I think that is the 12mm eyes. And these are just standard safety eyes that I got from Amazon. I got you a green one there. We're going to put them back over here. I know I kind of gave you guys a sneak peek of it sitting over here. And then a pink one, burnout blanket, and then a teal bluish one. And then I haven't used any variegated yarn really a whole lot on any of my plushies. And I just thought this was a perfect time to do that. And I was really just trying to get as many variants as I could. So this is the one that I'm actually in the middle of working on. And so it's variegated, and then it's going to have the solid color for the fins. And I think that should be enough. I may do an orange one. I think an orange will, yes, we'll do an orange one. So we're going to have 7 of those, right? So yeah, we'll have 7. And I might, you know what? How about I make 2 more and make it an even 8? That just goes to show you how much fun this one is. This is a free Instagram pattern by Scarlet Garden Crochet, Miss Beth. Go check it out. You're going to love this. This is an absolutely, it made me change my mind on axolotls, which I think is a big deal. And so next I have some mini turtles, but they're smaller. And I have I think it's tofu turtle. But it ended up being bigger than I wanted it to be. Like I started making the head and I was like, this is just a little bigger. I know that a lot of my items, my $8 items tend to sell the most. I'd probably say that I don't have any of the numbers together, but I would probably say at least 40% of my sales that I've had this year are from just $8 items alone or like around that price range. So I try to keep that around the same. So these axolotls, I think I'm gonna sell these for 8. I think this is a pretty good $8 item. And then I need to make some more of these. And this is the turtle pattern. It's a free Instagram pattern by Katrina's Creations. And I did want to do something different. I haven't really been using the sinker eyes with the glitter on any of my smaller plushies, but I just felt like these needed it. And I know that turtles are really popular, so I don't plan on having a whole lot of these. I try to do things that are different. Like I don't think a whole lot of people are going to have those deep sea creatures with the anglerfish and stuff. Um, I was really on the fence if I wanted to make those in mystery bags, but I think that it's going to kind of help with the allure of it a little bit. So I just made one of these. I do plan on making a couple of more of these tonight, but not too many. And then this is another free pattern, but it's by Wonder Crochet. She actually has a paid pattern of a bigger version of this that she came out with first. But this one is a free pattern on her blog. So she actually has it posted on her Instagram, and that way you can get a link to her blog. So this is her troll pattern for all of those who remember these trolls from the 80s. I was born in the 80s, but I was a 90s baby. Like I grew up in the 90s, but I still remember these. And they are so absolutely cute. Now this yarn that I used Crafty Corner yarn here, and then I used some just yarn from the Dollar Tree, and it's just the worsted acrylic. I think on the next one I'm going to double up on the hair because I lost a lot of the yarn. Excuse me, sorry. I mean, it's like half of the yarn. So I'm going to double up on the strands, I think, to have a more fuller head of hair. But I love these colors. These are some of the spring colors they have at the Dollar Tree. I think they're beautiful colors. And so I did that one. And I didn't have the exact color of the jewel, but we'll find some ones. And I made another one. I'm struggling. I didn't pack the bottom enough to give him a good. You can say he's got a flat booty. He just has a butt crack. But I am going to do a pink and a yellow. I think it's a bug. I think I've got a green somewhere. I'm going to run to the Dollar Tree here in a minute and go see if they have any more. And so I made 2 of those. I will try and make some more of those tonight. And so that's all of my weekly makes. There's something I forgot to mention though. This is a action-packed crochet video today. I actually do have a little bit of a news. What I'm about to do, a little bit of a news. I've got some exciting news. I have been trying to put some of my items in a storefront for quite a while, but I haven't been able to find anything that was local that did that kind of stuff. There's not a whole. I live in a small town, so there's not a whole lot of places that do that type of, I guess, like consignment or selling booths or like renting out booths. But I found a place, but the booth fee was a little bit more expensive than I was willing to pay. With me still being very new to all of this and still learning, and I'm not seeing the return as I was expecting to see this time of the year because I'm getting close to have been doing this for a year. So August will be my year mark. I'm learning. This is my learning year, I'm saying. So next year is going to be the year of high returns, I'm hoping. But anyways, so I reached out to her. The booth fee was a little bit more expensive than I was wanting to pay per month. She was asking $100 a month for a 5x5 space. I just wasn't willing to pay that at the moment. But she did reach out to me about a week later and said that she was willing to purchase some of my items to sell at a markup. And that's really exciting just because I think you get your money up front, so you don't really lose anything, I guess. But the problem is she wanted those items today. So not only have I been market prepping for 2 markets back to back, and I needed some rest because evidently I'm exhausted. I was burnt out. So I didn't do anything that week. And then when I found out, I just went, oh no. So what I've done for her is I've gathered up some of the items that I've had with me for a while that haven't sold at my markets to see if they'll sell better at a storefront. Just going to go give some items to her just to get maybe some interest in crochet just a little bit. And then after that, hopefully next week, I'll be able to give her some more items. And then I know I'd also previously said that I was trying to do 2 markets a month. And I've been pretty consistent with that, so much to the point to where I did 3 markets this month. And I'm exhausted, and I think that I might be over extending myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut back a little bit for the summer, just one summer. I don't want to have to be inside crocheting the whole time. I really want to work on my patterns. There are several patterns that I've been wanting to work on, but I've just been market prepping so much that I really put all that stuff to the side. So I'm still gonna be doing my weekly videos, but we're just gonna tone back the markets. Two of the markets that I'm doing one in May 10th. It's hopefully going to be a pretty big one. We have a High on the Hog festival here in the town that I live in, and it tends to be fairly big and lots of foot traffic. So I'm doing that one May 10th, and I'll only have 2 weeks to prepare for it, and then I'm going to be doing excuse me, the Banana Pudding Festival in Murfreesboro, Tennessee on June the 7th, which is extremely exciting because that is probably the biggest event that I'll at that point have ever done. And there's projected about 15,000 people that are going to be at that event, which is insane. So after all of that, I'm going to just pull back, do bigger events, but less often. Work on some pattern testing or pattern making, and focus on my storefront too, to see if, because to me that will be like less work monthly. I just have to crochet and drop it off. And if it ends up where my stuff gets to selling pretty quickly, then maybe I'll actually be able to rent out a booth. But anyways, I'm rambling. It's already 17 minutes in, and we still haven't even done the markets yet. Excuse me. So we are going to cut to time lapse of me making the mystery boxes, and then I will let you guys know if I make anything else tonight, and then if not, I will see you guys in the morning ready for market day. So see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, I just wanted to hop on here really quick. You can see like it's beautiful out here today. It is like 9:45, so the event hasn't even really started yet. But people like they're rolling in. We are at like a little it's like a supply company is what it's called. It's called Buckets Supply Company, and a town about 40 an hour 45 minutes from me. But they have like really pretty flowers. This is the flowers that they have that they're selling today. But no, we got some people that are starting to come in. So so far no sales because we haven't started yet. But I think I'll maybe try to do an hourly check-in. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. And I will show you guys some footage now of my booth and a little bit of the footage that I was able to get from the event. It's really windy here today. Lucky that I'm underneath their tent that they already have set up here. So, all right, we'll see you guys in about an hour, hopefully. Hey guys, if you can't tell by the way that it is, I did not get a chance to film anymore. Um, if it slowed down enough for me to kind of pick up the table, I did that. And then if it slowed down enough for me to go to the bathroom, I did that or grabbed a bite to eat. But other than that, like it's a very good day. I had a very successful market today. I know earlier this year I said most successful market this year, but no, this one was definitely the most successful one. I was very pleased with it. We were outside. It was a beautiful day. Um, and so we're just going to cut. We're just going to go into everything that I sold um, today, and then how much I made today, and then it'll be the market tomorrow. I am going to try to get some prepping done tonight, but it is 6:46 because it was about an hour away, and I had to stop and get some more bags. So I don't know how much I'll actually get crocheted tonight and tomorrow. The market doesn't start until 12, and setup is about, I'll probably get there about 10 just to make sure I have plenty of time to set up. So kind of curious to see how it'll all go, but we'll see. We'll see. So let's get into the results. So again, all of this is from the lowest priced item to the highest priced item, and I forgot to tally up what my bestseller was, but I'm looking. Okay. So I sold one of my bee rings for $3, my butterfly ring for $3, a scrunchie for $4. Those have been like trickling out, so I haven't really sold a whole lot of those. I have rear view mirror hangers that are crosses that I make out of acrylic yarn, and I sell those for $5. I made two of those, or I sold two of those. My little capybaras that I made earlier this year, I sold two of those for $6 a piece. I was just trying to get those out because those have been hanging with me for a while. One of my mini sharks from Crochet by Janina, I sold one of those for $6. I also had a small turtle that was a free Instagram pattern that I don't remember who the maker was, but I sold that one for $6. I sold some of Miss Beth's axolotls. I sold 4 of the 8 that I took. I sold them half of them. Best axolotl success, I think, since I've been doing my markets. So that was definitely a good change, I think, for me, was to go to those. And then I had a gray puppy that if you've watched any of my earlier videos, I think it's in one of them. It was a YouTube tutorial. I didn't like the yarn that I used, and his eyes were really far apart, and I dropped the price to it just because I didn't think that I would pay $10 for it. So I changed it to $8, and I called him the Derpy Dog, and it sold today for $8. And then one of my small heart frogs from Valentine's Day, I sold it for $8. And then I sold all no, I sold 4 of my 5 dragon rings for $8. I upped the price to those to $8 a little while ago. I sold one of my platypuses from Avery Crafts a lot. I sold one of those for $8. I sold 2 of my small mushroom poppers for $8 from Cable and Canvas. I sold my small snake, and that's just one that I freehanded. I sold another small turtle, the one that I just showed you earlier in this video. I sold it for $8. I think I probably should have upped that price to 10, but it's okay. And then I sold 3 of my 4 squirrels that I made, all the ones with the fluffy tails. I accidentally sold one for $10. I had them priced for $8, and I sold one for 10, and she didn't say anything, and I didn't realize it until afterwards. Whoopsie daisies. And then my best-selling item was my blind bags. I sold 6 of those for $10 a piece. And then I have the chicken in a baskets that I made for Easter. I sold one of those for $10. And then I sold three of my chicken, all of my chicks and eggs for $10. I sold all of those. I had three of them. And then I sold a chunky loaf cat that is crocheted by Janina. It's one of her paid patterns. I sold one of those for $10. And then I sold my chubby T-Rex for $10. And then I sold one of my medium dragon rings still in the egg for $12. One of my medium pickles for $10. A pug for $10. One of my skunks for $10. You can see where the price range was, where everybody was buying stuff from. So it's good that I had a lot in that range. I'm worried that I'm not going to have as much in that range tomorrow, but that's okay. My last possum for $10. I haven't made any more. I'm gonna have to make some more. Maybe I'll do some of that tonight. And then that's it on that page. And then I sold a grumpy frog that I've had with me for a long time. I think since one of my first markets, I sold it for $15. I accidentally put it for $15. It used to be 12, but somebody bought it for 15, so I'm just going to leave it there at that price. And then I sold a Triceratops. This is I would probably say maybe the third or fourth amigurumi item that I've ever made. And I've had it with me for over a year, and it finally sold, and it made me so happy. A little girl went home with it, and it made my little heart so happy. And then my bunny with a carrot from Atomic Crochet, it's her YouTube tutorial. I sold it for $15. My cheeky turtle with the shell, that is the crochet free pattern on Instagram. I sold one of those for $15. And then I sold one of my We Crochet creations. I sold the lamb without a lovey for $15. And then I sold one of the Cuddle Buddies, the raccoon. I sold it for $20 because it had a lovey with it. And then I sold my Brontosaurus for $20. I've had her for a little while, since the beginning of the year. And let me just tell you how excited I was. I put a bonnet on her, and they bought her with the bonnet. And I've just left it on her, and it just made me so happy. And then I sold two of my Dino Snuggies. I don't know who the maker of those. I'm going to put all the links below. Actually, I think that is Zero Gravity Crochet. I sold the Triceratops and the Stegosaurus for $20 a piece. And then I sold both of my bell bunnies. If you watched my bunny roundup or one of my previous makes, it was a pattern test that I did. I had them since Easter, and surprisingly, they both sold today. The blue one and the pink one, they both sold for $35. So the totals, ladies and gents. So with a cash profit of $252, Square profit $234, and a Venmo profit of $140. It brings my total overall $626. Amazing. That is before fees and vendor fees. So my vendor fee was $20, but for some reason, this event, the town, we had to get a vendor license, a temporary vendor license in town that cost me $50. So I'm just saying that my vendor fee was $70. And my square fees were $8. So overall, my total was $548. Guys, this is like a mic drop moment for me. Yeah, this was amazing for me. Like, it was just the best market that I've ever been to. And it's so amazing. It's so, like, the way that things work out sometimes. So I think I was saying it earlier in this video that I've been getting a little defeated with how my markets have been going. And I think part of that is because I haven't been picking the best markets. This one was a lot bigger. It was outside, and I think that makes a big difference. This is literally the second outside market that I've done since I've been doing markets. And God works in mysterious ways. I was getting really defeated and was really thinking about quitting. I mean, realistically and honestly, I think in that all this work that I've been putting into this, um, it's all for nothing, right? That's just what, just really letting that defeat get to me. And I've been praying on it. And then this happens today. And it just feels like that kind of refueled my um, ambition a little bit. So I'm very happy for that. And the fact that I have decided to tone down my markets. I'm only going to do one a month for the next couple of months through the summer months. So yeah, this is really giving me a little bit of boost that I think that I needed to really keep pushing forward with doing all of the markets and everything. So just don't give up. If you are one of those people who are having tough markets, this is my, let's see, I've done one, two, three, four. This was my fifth market for the year, and it's April. This is my fifth one, and this is the best one that I've done. So it's getting warmer outside, guys. Just keep pushing forward. Um, I'm just really excited about the way the day went. Met a lot of people that crochet or had friends that crocheted. A lot of young kids today. I would say probably about 3 or 4 kids in the 9 to 12 range were saying, "Oh, I'm trying to learn how to crochet," and I was telling them to really push through. I said, you know, I didn't start off doing this. This is something that came with time, and I like seeing that and helping encourage them to crochet. But anyways, yeah, so that's the results from today. As you can tell, I'm very excited and very, I guess, humbled, pleased with how it went. Now I see how the bug happens. Like, you get this one good market and you want to keep trying to get the good market. But anyways, so if I make anything else tonight, I'll pop back on here and show you guys any of the makes that I made. If not, I'll see you in the morning after I set up. I'll show you some footage of that, and hopefully I'll be able to do a better job at vlogging. It's just with as well as it went today and as busy as it was a little difficult to get some filming done. So hopefully that'll happen tomorrow. But anyways, here's one of two, and then on to the next one. I wanted to hop on here really quick. It is the morning of my second market of the weekend, and I didn't get a whole lot done last night just because I was exhausted. And then this morning I've been just getting a little bit of crochet done, and then now I think it's like 8:30 and setup starts at 9:30. So I want to get everything that I've made inventoried, get them tagged, get everything packed up, and then get to my space. So let me just show you the 4 things that I crocheted this morning, and I think I did one of these last night. So this is an elephant that I did with the Just Premier Bloom, not just Premier, but Premier, the bloom, and it's so pretty. I want to make one in the yellow. I don't know what made me want to do one in this color, but I just think he looks so adorable. And then I made another one out of the Bernat blanket. Love this. And something that I did Friday, instead of crocheting more, I decided I wanted to retag everything. And what I did, I know it's probably backwards, but what I did is I printed off stickers and just put the prices on them because my handwriting is terrible. And so this just makes it a lot more legible, I think, and I think it just looks nicer. So that's that. And then I sold my black skunk. I still have 2 pink ones. Neither one of the pink ones have sold. But I made this one. I did it a little bit different. This is a Ribbler pattern for, I think it's B&K Crochet, or BK Crochet. No, it's B&K. It'll be linked below. But I surface crochet. The way that you do this before, or way that it tells you to do it, is you make the furry part separate, and then you sew it onto the onto the plushie, but I just didn't feel like I had time for that today. So I just surface crocheted like this, and I like the way it turned out. I think it looks good. So I made one of these, and then I woke up this morning with a thought in my head. For those of you who are returning, so thank you so much. You know that I've been working on a hanging possum pattern, and I use the um, the just chenille for it, and I use a 4.5 to 5 millimeter hook depending on how my tension is, and it just feels like it takes me a long time to do it. So I wanted to do something a little bit more market preppable, and there is a couple of things that I'm going to do different for this, but I really love the way this one turned out. So this is the highly altered hanging possum. I do want to increase its body just a little bit and then have it go down right here, I think, and then go out. But I just love how big his head is. I love it. How cute. And previously, my other hanging possum would take me almost up to an hour and a half to do, just because when I made it with Bernat blanket yarn, it turns out fairly large. So this is Bernat blanket with 6.5 millimeter hook. And I did still do the pipe cleaner, and it still does hang. He still hangs, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I think that this is probably the direction that I'm going to go. A lot less yarn is used, takes a lot less time with all the like I said, with all the details and putting the pipe cleaner in. It took me 45 minutes, which I think is a really good market preppable item. And then yeah, so that's what I made. This is a pattern by me. Hopefully I'll be able to get it released in the next few weeks, because that's what I'm going to be really focusing my time on. Um, hopefully I'll be able to do that. But yep, yay! So this is all that I've been able to get done in the past little bit of time, but that's okay. There are new items. The elephants are new items. I haven't had any small elephants for my markets, and my possum is different. So we'll see how they sell today. And I'm probably going to get there a little early to set up, and then maybe get some more crocheting done. I don't know. I would like to add some more color because I lost a lot of colorful things yesterday. Um, and but yeah, let me get everything inventoried in and get my stuff printed out, get them labeled, packed up, and eat some breakfast, and then head out to the market. And then I will see you guys in a minute. Hey guys, and I'm back from my market. It's actually Thursday. I am just now getting a chance to film my results. It has been such an exhausting couple of weeks. I'm just a sleepy girl, evidently. I came home from work the other day and I took a nap. My body needs some rest time. I know I was saying that earlier in the video about how just absolutely exhausted I am, but it is so true. I'm still so tired. I feel like I'm catching up on something. I don't know. But we're gonna quickly go over the market results that I had on um, what was it? April the 27th. So we're going to go over that really quick. So I think I got a little spoiled from Saturday, because just as a recap, my Saturday market was about a little under $600 total profit. And so that was my best market yet. And I would say that I arguably had one of my worst market the day after, which it was a Sunday and not a very popular part of town, so it's okay. But we're gonna go from the lowest priced item again to the highest priced item. So I sold one of my mini sharks. That's one of the Crochet by Janina free Instagram patterns. I sold one of my small mushroom poppers from Campbell and Canvas for $8. I sold one of my platypuses from Avery Crafts a Lot. I sold it for $8. I sold an axolotl. Um, the Avery Crafts a Lot is a Etsy pattern. It's a paid pattern, but the axolotl is a free pattern on Instagram by Scarlet Garden Crochet. Love that pattern. I really do. It's such a fun one and an easy and quick one to make for markets. And then I sold my chocolate rabbit in an egg. I sold it for $10. It's funny, I sold more Easter themed items this weekend than I did the weekend before Easter. And then I sold two snakes. I had a snake, my Easter snake, that, no, I sold one snake. So my scrappy snake, I never got a chance to show you guys when I finished it because I finished it on Sunday and I put it out and it sold right after. This lady saw it and just fell in love with it and she got it. And then I sold my small possum that you saw earlier in the video. I'm going to have to make more of those. I sold one of my pickles for $10. The possum was $10. I sold one blind bag for $10. And then I had a chunky triceratops that I had hanging around. But because I sold so much stuff on Saturday, I just grabbed it and took it, and it sold for $10. I sold another of my dragon rings, the medium sized one that I put in an egg. I sold one of those for $12. And then I sold one of my floppy eared bunnies for $15. One of my color cow plushies that I've had since the beginning of the market season this year for $15. And then I sold a rainbow for $10. And then I sold my St. Patrick's Day snake for $22. So a lot of smaller priced items this time around. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I sold 14, 15 items, which still isn't bad. I made, it's still not terrible. It's not terrible, but this is definitely my worst market, I think. So, now we're just gonna do with the results. I got $80 of cash, $12 Venmo profit, and then $72 for Square. And I had a Square fee of $2.32. We'll just round that up to $3. And then my vendor fee was $70. So with $154 as everything that I made, but after the fees, it was, I'll put the number up here because I don't remember. I think it's either $84 for my market after a $500. But still, that's really good for a weekend. I mean, weekend I made almost $800, so that's really it's minus the fees and stuff. It's pretty good. I have another market. It's actually filming this now. It's next weekend. It's on the 10th. It's Mother's Day weekend. So hopefully, and it's the kickoff for our High on the Hog Festival here in town. So I'm hoping that it will be successful. And then I don't have another one for a month after that. So that's going to give me time to get my inventory back up and again allow me to rest because evidently I'm just exhausted. I'm just an exhausted girly. But I've already started crocheting some stuff this week, so I'm hoping to be able to film that because today's Thursday, tomorrow on Friday, if I can get some things crocheted, because I think I've only got, as of right now, 2 things crocheted. So if I don't get a whole lot more, then we'll just start doing bi-weekly um, videos until I can get myself together. But anyways, that's all that I've got for this video, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And if you made it this far, I would love it if you would like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know whenever I have more videos up. And I'm so thankful that you're here and that you watch this content. And I really hope to see you again next time. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. All right? You guys have a nice day. God bless.